Today we're going to take a look at the riff of the day, which is the Police, Every Breath You Take. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Okay, strangely enough or not, something to notice is that all those chords were sustained chords. Really interesting. But the more important thing is I can almost guarantee you that this song would not be the hit that it is if it was Every Breath You Take. I mean, that's nice, but the thing is, that's not copyrightable. This is copyrightable. And it's just beautiful. So my rules for a riff, or guidelines I should say, is that the riff needs to be copyrightable. No one can use this riff without asking Sting. The other thing is that the riff should identify the song completely outside of the vocalist even hearing it. So if I play this at a party, everyone's like, oh, every breath you take, I'll sing it along with you. So then the riff creates the modern counterpoint for the vocalist to do their thing. And this, sure, that's harmony, but this is also melody. So the cool thing is that you have the vocalist of the melody, the melody of the vocalist, the melody of the riff, and together they're creating modern counterpoint. So that's why I love Every Breath You Take in this riff. But now let's go on to the further song analysis of this tune. So let's further dissect and take a look under the hood. Let's take a look at the DNA and what makes Every Breath You Take tick by the Police. Now there's so many things we can look at, but what I like to do is I just call it a song blueprint. And what I do is I have a spreadsheet and I have a list of things I want to notice. I have a list of things I want to notice about this song, and then once I map this out, I can say to myself, what do I like about this? What can I notice about this song that I want to use in my own songwriting, right? So, and you can get that spreadsheet, that blueprint. It's the link is in the bio or in the description. You can get it, download it, and you can use it for yourself. This is how the great songwriters become great songwriters. They learn the masters that have come before them, and then they figure out why is this so great, and then they internalize it. Then they can model those songs and make it their own. So what do I like about this song so much? And by the way, this was a #1 smash in 1983. I've got my notes here. It has 2.6 billion Spotify streams as per date and 1.4 billion video views on YouTube. So we talked about the second melody and the riff and how that's such an important element here. So one thing I really like about this song that we can notice, again, we're asking, what can I notice about this song? What I noticed is this song's not really a verse, pre-chorus type of song. It's more closely to a standard jazz AABA format. And in jazz standards, this means that you have an A section, a B section, and another A section. And that all together is what they call the chorus. So in jazz standards and in AABA songs that are modern songs today, the whole thing sounds like a chorus. So instead of every breath you take, every move you make, all that stuff, is that a verse? Or is that maybe hook A? And then can't you see, you belong to me? That's kind of like, that's another hook. I don't know if that's really a chorus either. But then since you've been gone without a trace part, that's another hook. So what I love about this is that it's almost like hook after hook after hook, just put together in the most delicious way. One other thing I like is that this song has what I call a really great third act. And the third act simply means that at the last chorus, there's a little bit of extra juice, there's a little bit more information, there's a little bit more extra hook that the artist gives you to hook you in and to raise their hand and say, I am doing a professional job here as an artist and a songwriter, and giving you an extra hook to sing. And the Police's Every Breath You Take has that little extra hook at the end. And in fact, it's the lyric which goes, every breath you take, every bond you break, it's that extra like hook that comes at the end of the chorus. So in closing, with the Police and Every Breath You Take, the question is, what can we notice about this song? And now if you're a songwriter, you're an artist, it's your job to increase your songwriting vocabulary. That's how the greats become the greats. And analyze, dissect, and then make it your own. And that way, your universe and your vocabulary gets bigger and bigger, and you become a better songwriter and artist. If you wanted to find out more about that process, you can go to my website. It's benjamingroff.com, and specifically /vocab. You can learn all about what I call the Songwriting Vocabulary Expander and what I'm doing here. But in summary, what are some key points here that we like about Every Breath You Take? One, of course, it's got an amazing riff. It's got a signature riff, okay? Also in that riff, I really like that these are all suspended chords, which is nicely contrasted in the other section with more broad and big chords that are not suspended. I also like the fact that there is what I call locked-in melodic rhythm. It's in many of the sections, the rhythm of the vocalist, in this case Sting, it's a locked-in melodic rhythm, a locked-in melodic rhythm, a locked-in melodic rhythm. You get the point. And we don't have to make it this hard. One idea, one melodic rhythm, repeated, repeated, repeated with melodic variations. It has a great song title and a concept. Every breath you take, I'll be watching you. Also, one thing I noticed to share is that this song is not I thought it was a mid-tempo type of song, but it's not. The tempo is actually 120 beats per minute, which is almost like a dance record, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels more emotional and more of a mid-tempo, intimate type song. So that's an interesting takeaway here too. Also, the vocal range is an octave and a whole note. So one thing that I think that I see throughout most songs that are big songs is that the melodic range of the entire song, it's often not a small range, because people, even though they may not sing great in the shower, people like to sing. So songs are generally, I find, an octave to an octave and a half is the sweet spot for some of the biggest songs of all time. So that's a quick summary of what I like about Every Breath You Take. If you're a songwriter, you got to be learning these songs. You got to be learning these classics, figuring out what makes them tick, and then incorporating that vocabulary for yourself. Now, if you like this video, please subscribe, follow, do whatever you'd like to do, because I would love for you to keep getting these insights and to help you on your songwriting journey. Again, my website's benjamingroff.com. And hope to see you there. Hope you pick something up from this video.